everyone, Preet Sand here, Miss Montgomery County 2020. And I just wanted to pop on here and make a quick video for you guys to really kick off my social media takeover week on the Montgomery County page. Just wanted to share with you guys some information about me, some fun facts, and get into some of the details of my social impact initiative, Do Re We. So, as you all know, my name is Preet Sand. What you might not know, though, is that my full name is actually Preet Jaden, and that roughly translates to love for the divine. So, fun fact, I've always gone by Preet though. It's a little bit less of a mouthful, but Preet by itself just means love. And no, you can't say I Preet you, but it would be kind of cute. So another fun fact about me is I am a cellist. Most of you probably already know that. I got my bachelor's in cello performance from the University of Maryland, and I graduated in 2018. And I'm getting another degree right now in music education, so I can go teach all the children of the world all the musical things. And I also love kids. So that's going really well, and that's exciting. Of course, being in quarantine is making it a very interesting experience, but nonetheless, we power through. Another fun fact about me is that I love food. Like, I love it. Like, I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love food. I love different types of food, but really for me, it's not necessarily about the quantity of food. It's about the texture of the food, and I am a huge fan of multiple textured food. My favorite food is actually sushi, and a lot of my favorite food comes from Southeast Asia. Just generally a lot of Asian food. It includes Indian food though, so it's just South Asia as well. So I love Asian food, and I love combining crunchy textures with chewy, more malleable textures. And I could talk forever about the different types of food I like and how much I love experimenting in my kitchen. But I think the coolest thing is I have this dream and this goal to go travel the world on this food tour, specifically Southeast Asia, because that's my favorite food. But don't get me wrong, I love my Italian, I love my Mexican, I love all of it. Oh my gosh, I love all of it. Except for mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms. I know some of you are like, oh my god, she doesn't like mushrooms. I don't, okay? They're weird. They feel weird, they're kind of squishy. I just, not my thing. But I would love to go on this kind of food tour of the world and go try food in its native area and get that kind of full immersive experience. So one day, if you ever ask, what's your dream trip? That is it. That is my dream trip. So going forward, a little bit about my social impact initiative. So it's called Do Re We, and that title was not an accident. It's, as much as it's a catchy pun that will probably stick in your mind, it's the purpose of the title, because it really encompasses the meaning of what my initiative is and what it stands for. So Do Re We came from Do Re Mi, the first three syllables of solfege, and the first three syllables that you learn when you're learning how to sing and you're learning how to play music. I was actually teaching a student of mine, and I was going over solfege with them, and at the time, this was when I was first kind of conceiving my initiative, and I was trying to decide what to call it. I already had the idea in my mind, but I just didn't have a title, and I was going over some stuff with them, and we were going over solfege, and I said, you know what, you practicing your solfege and you practicing what you learn in your lessons doesn't have to do with me. It's not Do Re Mi. And then all of a sudden, it hit me. How many times can I say me in one sentence? It hit me, and I thought, oh wait, that's a great idea. Do Re Mi, but Do Re We, because the center of my initiative is really about connecting people through the universal language of music. Every single culture has music. Every single person in their life has experienced some type of music at some point. Whether it's music that they heard on the radio, music that they heard in a shopping mall, music that they love to listen to, their own playlist they create, whether they play music, they like to sing along to it, they dance in the shower. People love to dance. Dancing is a form of art, and what do they dance to? They dance to music. Every single culture has music, and it is a way for people to connect. Do Re We is an initiative that is focusing on connecting. It's building the bridge between cultures, race, socioeconomic status, language, location, you name it. That's the point. The point is to connect, to find a binding factor. This idea was very important to me because growing up as a South Asian woman in the arts has been an interesting experience, I guess, to say the least. I was usually the only person who looked like me in most of my music classes, at least when I got into secondary education. My primary education, I didn't really notice it as much. It was also kind of a fad. Lots of kids played instruments, lots of kids liked to explore music, but it started to trickle off, the older we got into secondary education, and then by that point, I still hadn't really paid too much attention to it, but I kind of knew I was the only one, at least at my school and all my extracurricular activities. Maybe there was one or two more people, but it was usually me. Fast forwarding to college, and when I was getting a collegiate level music education, and I was at University of Maryland in their music school, it became very apparent to me, I thought it might be a little bit different, that there'd be more exposure to different types of people and different types of music, but there wasn't. For the first 3 years of my education, I was the only South Asian woman, and then my senior year there was somebody else that joined the performance program, and it thrilled me more than I cared to admit. And it's not something that I had thought bothered me as much as it did until I sat down and thought about, well, how has this affected me in my everyday life, and really analyzed my situation. So when I was in college, I joined an Indian dance team in search of some kind of community to connect better with my culture. I joined a Bhangra team, which is a form of dance that originates from Punjab, a region of northern India where my family's from. It's a Bhangra team, and I thought this was a great opportunity for me to do some cultural connecting. So I joined the team, and I loved it. I danced with them. They were great people, but I never felt like I truly fit in that group. Moving right along to the music school, I always felt a little bit out of place there too, and I kind of wondered why. Why is that? And then it sort of hit me that I never really fit in with my dance team because I was so different. I was like a unicorn. I was a South Asian woman majoring in a liberal art. I mean, this is not what we're taught to do as young kids. This is not what we are necessarily bred to do. We're told from such a young age that you need to go get a degree in the STEM field. When I love STEM. I mean, that is a fantastic field, and there's so many occupations that hail from that field, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't the occupation that I wanted. And so I went to follow my dreams and be in the music school, but it was just so rare to see that. So I didn't really fit in with them. But in the music school, there were also not many people that looked like me, and many people questioned why I was there, because why would a South Asian woman be getting a liberal arts degree when she should be getting a degree in STEM or a degree in business or something along those lines? And so I always felt a little bit ostracized. I always felt a little bit like one foot in, one foot out, and it bothered me. And I thought, how can something so universal cause such distress? So from there, Do Re Mi was kind of found. It was this way to utilize music and to give music a new purpose, not just to perform it, but to diversify how we teach it, to diversify how we think of other cultures. And that's why I started my program, Resonate. It's a scholarship program, and it essentially takes graduate students who are on assistantship, so full rides, they're covered with their housing and their tuition. And in exchange for that, they usually have to do different services around whatever school or college that they're in. Now, for music students, that means that they usually work in the offices, they teach lessons, etc. But Resonate will take them and give them an additional task of going into inner cities and teaching students who do not have access to as much music education and giving them the education that they need. It also focuses on diversifying music education and teaching more than just Western music in primary levels. So in primary levels, what I have found has been taught is Western music, Western rhythm, Western background. And that's all fine and dandy, but if you ever take a group of students and you teach them world music, you teach them music from different cultures, their eyes suddenly open and their horizons expand. Suddenly, when you see somebody who doesn't look like you don't make a harsh assumption or a judgment. You look at them and you think, oh, I've heard the music from your culture. I have something that I can talk to you about. I understand something, or I have enough information to ask you a question. Resonate aims to enable that education at an earlier age. It enables the people to have their minds open before they're closed. And that's the key. I mean, Do Re Mi is about opening the eyes of not just people who are already in their adult life, but the next generation. The generation that's going to be growing up and whose eyes and minds are still open. and they have the opportunity to learn from a young age that every single culture has something in common. And it's not just dumplings, even though they do, because believe me, I would know that. They have music in common. Every culture has art. Every culture has music. And that is the purpose of Do Re We. And that is the purpose of my scholarship program, Resonate. And I'm really excited to continue sharing more information about those two initiatives and how they're intertwined in those two programs, and really sinking my teeth into some difficult topics. But I applaud you if you made it to the end of this video, because I know it was a little bit long, but I look forward to sharing some more content with you guys throughout the week. Some cool subjects about music in the mind, music in the body, music to study, all that good stuff. Be on the lookout for some more videos about that and some more fun facts about Crete. And if there's anything you want to know, let me know. Write it in the comments. I'll be doing a live Instagram and a live Facebook at some point next week, and I will be happy to answer all your questions, no matter how silly or serious they may seem. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you all throughout the week.